Closer to 2 than it is 1.
Welcome back. About to go back to green flag racing. It's Kyle Busch, Colin Brown, Brian Scott, Rick Crawford, and David Starr, your top 5. And they will start on the outside. We see Todd Bodine just on the inside line. He has scored 2 laps down right now.
But he's got thoughts, Phil, of grabbing one of these laps back on the track. He wants to get by Kyle Busch right here so that he can be 1 lap down. He was fast enough earlier to get a lap back. We'll see if he can get around Kyle Busch. I feel funny saying, can he get around Kyle Busch? I don't think anyone can. But Todd's going to be more motivated to do so at this point in the race than anybody has all day.
You know, and Kyle Busch may not push the issue either because he has to save his stuff, and he may let Todd go if he gets there because he knows he more than likely will not have to race Todd for the win. All Todd's trying to do right now is get back on the lead lap to try to salvage a good finish, and he could have a very good finish if he can get back on the lead lap. And here he goes for one of those laps right now, and Kyle didn't even fight him for it.
Well, and I suspected that because we saw Kyle Busch just barely running fast enough to stay ahead of everybody. Is what he's done all day today. He goes from 8th to 1st in 1 lap, passes everybody in the field, and then just maintains a 6-8 truck length lead. You know what his plan is. Very smart race being conducted by Doug George, Kyle Busch, and this whole 51 team.
He just puts it on cruise control.
Now, the next caution that would come out if Todd Bodine is able to hang on to the position that he has right now in front of Kyle Busch, he would get the 1 lap back with the Aaron's Lucky Dog, and he would be on the lead lap.
Absolutely.
And again, he restarted just now 2 laps down, but was able to battle back and get one of those from Kyle Busch.
I almost think that he knows that.
He's got it figured out.
I really do. Yeah.
Let's do a top 10 drop back as we look a little deeper in our field. We'll begin with Ray Dunlap talking a little bit about Kyle.
Well, guys, here's the situation for Kyle Busch. They plan on pitting one more time because they have stickers down here, and he is saying that he's thinking we're very, very close on being able to go the distance. Doug George told him, no, we will have to pit one more time. But guess what? Many of the trucks behind him don't plan on pitting again. So this could be a track position play. Like, for example, Colin Brown. Brown put on 2 tires on that last pit stop, and the same thing for the truck right behind him, Brian Scott. Those guys got their 2 tires. They're full of fuel, and they think they can go the distance. Let's check out on what's happening with Rick Crawford.
The drivers running 4th and 5th feel they can go all the way as well. In fact, Rick Crawford has no tires left, so they will not come back to pit road. Last time they were in, back-to-back laps, 135 and 136, 4 tires, and then fuel right behind him. Exact same strategy for David Starr. But despite the fact they are good on fuel, we know how important tires are today. They do have a sticker set of right sides left should they need them, Ray.
Johnny Sider in that number 13 has a good truck today in his Fun Sand Chevrolet. He has said if we get a short run towards the end of this race, put a little extra air in the front tires. He's dragging the splitter right now, so Sider plans on coming back to pit road for sure. And we also see Mike Skinner right behind him. What about him, Adam?
Yeah, he's done a very nice job after an early issue. He finds himself in the 7th position. They have managed this race all day. I just talked with his crew chief, Eric Phillips, and he said this thing is all about survival. They're 47 laps from getting that goal reached, right?
Real good run for the 07 and the Green Light Racing team, and Chad McCumbee. He has not posted a top 10 here at Dover. His best finish at 12th prior to that. McCumbee running an 8th right now, and again, they had that lug nut issue earlier, or he may even be further up in the field. Adam?
It's been a tough day for Matt Crafton when you look at what they have been through. At one time, he thought his left shock, one of the shocks on the left side of that truck had gone bad. They ran to the garage, had one, were prepared to change it. They didn't do it. They have maintained track position and now find themselves in the top 10 yet again. Ray?
J.R. Fitzpatrick and Dennis Setzer having a good race. Looks like Setzer may have just got by him. But here was the plan for John Monson, the new crew chief on that team. This is a track that J.R. Fitzpatrick had never been to before, so he wanted to give him 160 laps where he kept the truck tight enough, and in the final 4 he says, I'm going to let J.R. give it a rip and head for the front. Right now, Fitzpatrick currently being shown in 11th.
Boy, Ray, he had a close call just a few moments ago with the 60 of Stacy Compton. Watch this, JR on the outside. Stacy's going to slide up the racetrack, gets loose, has to chase it up the hill, makes a little bit of contact with JR. Stacy does a great job saving that truck.
You know, I love, check the way these guys all use evasive maneuvers. I mean, they got to get with it in a hurry. They don't know what's fixing to happen. Dennis Setzer ran into the wall trying to figure out what was going to happen. But you know, Phil, I love these guys' optimism, saying they're set to go to the end of the race. We've had 2 runs in this race of green flag racing for 27 laps. And on the 28th lap, tires blew out. So they have more than 60-some laps to go to get to the checker when they restarted. I don't see it going that far before we see some tire issues.
I don't either. You know, the guys talk about every truck in this field. Ooh, Terry Cook looks like a handful right there coming off the corner. I think every truck in this field, if they didn't have to pit, and Kyle Busch did because Doug George wants him to, I think he'd pass them all in 2 or 3 laps. So him pitting is going to be the way to play this race.
Take a look at the difference we have up front. It is Kyle Busch in that 51. He has been dominant all day, even in the Nationwide Series race earlier, and dominant here in the truck race. We'll be back with more side-by-side racing from the Monster after this.